Skull sports fans and Minnesota Viking fans everywhere. How are we doing today? My name is Greg Buck Dietzen, aka the Buckster, and this is the Buck Stops Here, episode 5 of season 2. Minnesota Viking fans everywhere. How are we doing today? My name is Greg. Sorry about that, a little technical difficulty there, just getting things back on track. So welcome to the Buck Stops Here, episode 5. We are just checking out some NBA draft information today. We also have on tap Major League Baseball festivities. We'll be talking a little bit about the Home Run Derby, who I think would be in the Derby or should be my guys that would win it for me. And Coop's got his input here, so we're going to listen to what he has to say. We also have a little bit of talk about the Money in the Bank, how that went down with the women's match, a little WWE talk, and then something near and dear and true to my heart, some Minnesota Viking talk. Yeah, Skibby, my producer, put in here, training game 1 month away. How comfortable am I with my team? What do I like that they've done in camp? And what holes do we have to fill? So a little bit here and there. We'll be bouncing around. Also, we don't have any talk about MMA. It's been quiet since the fight's been announced. So as we get closer to that, obviously, we will talk more about the big Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather fight. I don't see it happening, but I mean, I see the fight happening. I just don't see it being a big deal. So let's move on and check out some NBA trade market information. There's a lot going on. Like during the draft, Jimmy Butler got moved to the T-Wolves, and I talked a little bit about that in my blog, Buck Stops Here. But it was a good move for the T-Wolves because they got a rising star in Jimmy Butler, and he's back with Thibodeau, where he really flourished when he was playing with him as his coach. So that's a good move. Some young players went to Chicago. Look, it's time for Chicago to rebuild. They let Rajon Rondo go. Really, they need to trade D-Wade, move him somewhere, and just start over. Start rebuilding that team. Get your own guys in there. They're going to work with your coach. Chris Paul of the Rockets is going to make an instant change for the Rockets. That is huge because that gives a point guard. Now, they had just moved Harden to point guard. So Harden might have to go back to shooting guard. And with Harden going to shooting guard, I believe that can still be a good team. I'd say they might be top 3 in the West, top 4 at the worst. But, I mean, that's where they've always been. You have to contend with the Golden State Warriors. The only way to weaken the Warriors right now, the only way to catch the Warriors, my apologies, is to weaken them. And how do you weaken them? You take their players. Andre Iguodala. Nobody decided to give this guy enough money to bring him to their team. He was really the sixth man, but he was runner-up for MVP, in my opinion. The only reason is Durant was just a monster. But how do you beat a team that has a guy like Iguodala, and he comes off the bench and he can score threes, he can play inside, he can play defense, he can get rebound, he can do everything. And they re-sign him. He checked out San Antonio. I don't think he talked to many other teams. And then they re-signed him for something to the effect of 3 years, $45 million. Paul George to the Thunder would have been great if Iguodala had left Golden State, because it would have lessened the gap twice, like the Chris Paul trade would have done. Rubio to the Jazz. The Jazz, they're trying to get back to where they were back when they had Malone and Stockton. And I mean, they're on their way. Rubio was a good move. He hasn't really flourished like he, should have in the NBA so far. He was supposed to come in and just be a star. And he's good. I just don't think he's great. I've watched him a few times when he's come to Memphis, and I'm not super impressed with him as they had him coming in to be that, all-out superstar. I will say that the Paul George trade, that's just a 1 year. They're getting a 1 year assassin, really. But it did get Westbrook to re-sign up for 5 years. So maybe the Thunder signed him to maybe hope to get a little closer. And obviously it got Westbrook to re-sign, so they have Westbrook. But with his knee problem, how long is Westbrook going to be able to do these triple doubles and carry a team on his shoulders? I really think Hayward staying in Utah would be huge. And I saw a few things. There's a couple teams going after Hayward, and they may be going hardcore. So we'll see how that rolls out as it comes on. Like I said, Iguodala did re-sign with Golden State, and I just think that makes Golden State still untouchable. And I watched the whole finals, and even when you sat down, Durant and Steph Curry, who also re-signed, Iguodala comes in, West comes in. You know, these guys are coming in and they're making stuff happen. So why would you think signing one guy is going to put you closer to that team? I mean, anybody has any opinion, feel free to give it to me, because that's really all this is. Again, I apologize for that, people. Let me just turn that guy down right there. Now, Coop did say the biggest chance to stop anybody is Paul George to the Thunder. Chris Paul to the Rockets would have been more impactful 5 years ago. Says Rubio to the Jazz still leaves them needing a piece, and the T-Wolves need a point guard because they traded their backup for Jimmy Butler. And those are all valid points. I don't think the T-Wolves traded for Jimmy Butler for this year. I think they're going to build around him, and that's a pretty good plan. They'll still be a subpar contender in that West, but I don't see them making a lot of noise. Our Grizzlies are working on trying to re-sign a few people. You know, we just keep slowly dropping. We were, really capable of being a 3 or 4 seed every year, and we're slowly falling off as we're getting older. And we made a couple trades to get some rookies who won't play this year, I'm sure. Rob is one of them, and he's the big guy. We were looking at, like, talking, Memphis basketball. We really need to keep the grindfather around, and Tony Allen, and of course the heart and soul of that team in Zebo. And for those of you who aren't Memphis natives, and Zebo, Zach is just he's just that spark. He comes in now. He come off the bench last year, and he came out and just made a lot of things happen coming off the bench. So he's getting older. And we really need to keep one of the two of them. I don't know if we can keep them both around. And JaMychal Green, I hear, is leaving us. And he was a player we picked up hoping he could, step in where Zach Randolph had been playing. So we got some holes to fill in Memphis. We've got our main two guys, Connolly and Powell's brother, Mark. Wow, don't ever let me say that again. But there's a lot we need to continue to try and rebuild and get back up there. But let's face it, for the next couple of years, Golden State is a team to beat here in the NBA. Let's move on to some Major League Baseball talk. We're getting close to All-Star time, and that means home run derby. And everybody loves a home run derby. I mean, you just lob a pitch at these guys and letting them drill the ball out of the park. It's fun to watch. There's a name that's got to be mentioned this year that both Coop and I would put on our team if we were the manager. The actual question is, put together your home run derby squad, 4 players that you want hitting the long ball for you, the GM, to win the GM home run derby trophy. There's no rules other than they have to currently be playing. So Coop decided that his 4 guys would be Judge from New York, and that's Aaron Judge. Bellinger, the rookie for the Dodgers, he's a left fielder. Little thing here for ABL fans. Watch for him to maybe end up in Orlando next year. Just saying. Ozuna from Miami, and I picked a guy from Miami too, but I went a different route. And Gallo from Texas. So Coop's got a good 4, and I guess after he picked, I have 2 different. So we can see if all 8 of these, 6 of these guys, because we have 2 the same, make the derby, we can see who would have done better. So that's our challenge, Coop, when I give you mine, to see which one of us does better in the home run derby if all 6 of these guys are in it. So we obviously have Aaron Judge for Buck, the Orlando Sharks manager, Bellinger from the Dodgers, And I went with Giancarlo Stanton from Miami, and Chris Davis from Oakland with a K, not a C. And those were my 4. So I guess we'll just have to see. Coop, this is kind of a little personal bragging challenge. You're the bigger baseball guy than I am, so let's see how we do against each other. And it's an open challenge here live on the Buck Stops here. Before I jump into the WWE, I want to let everybody know, I watch WWE on Hulu, and for $11.99 a month, you can get Hulu without the commercials, and you can get all your favorite shows. Generally, it's a day after the show airs. You get a lot of movies on there. I tend to use Netflix for the movies. But WWE, SmackDown and Raw are actually played the next day. American Ninja Warrior's on it the next day. So, and you can go back and watch the episodes if you don't miss it. They don't just delete them in a week or two. They're there until the season's over. So you should try Hulu. Also, WWE fans, the WWE Network, your first month is free. Sign up today. And by signing up today with that WWE Network, you will get the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view coming up 1 week from today. And in 3 weeks, you will get, not sure the next pay-per-view for Raw or for SmackDown. Let's take a quick look and see if we can't find that, because that would be a very interesting. You get that for free as well, too, though. So give me 1 second here. Oh, list of WWE. There we go. So it looks like, you always have WrestleMania. It's just showing old ones. My apologies. Battleground coming up next. My apologies there, everybody who likes to watch the Tuesday Night SmackDown. Battleground will be next. And with Battleground coming up, there'll be some good matches, which we'll get into when the time comes. But we are currently looking into trying to talk more WWE here. So the big thing was we had a Money in the Bank. And Money in the Bank went down really well. Baron Corbin won. I think he's the guy that needs to hold the belt. And you see Baron Corbin coming out and taunting Jinder Mahal. Is that a Baron Corbin face turn? Or are we just, Baron Corbin doesn't care who you are. Baron Corbin doesn't care if you're face, if you're heel, if the fans like you, if they don't like you. Baron Corbin just wants that title. And he's going to use the briefcase better than any of the guys in the Money in the Bank would have. Not had AJ Styles still been a heel, I think that would have been a good choice. Kevin Owens didn't need it. He's got his USA title, so I knew that he was going to keep the United States Championship for now, and that's his taunt over everybody. So I thought possibly AJ Styles would win, especially with Jinder Mahal winning the match. But I know they still want to have a Jinder and Randy Orton. And so what I see happening with this is Randy gets his rematch. He goes in, lands the RKO after a vicious match, and Baron Corbin comes out and clobbers him, takes him out, uses the Money in the Bank, and gets the title quick. He's not going to hold it very long. I think Baron Corbin's just going to come out and grab that title from Randy before Randy can win it. Randy's looking for his 14th championship, and I think they're going to hold off on that. I don't think they're going to have him lose the belt and get it right back to help build those championships up. So, plus Jinder Mahal plays a pretty good heel. He's getting better on the mic. He's getting better in the ring. So what better way than to have this triple threat? I guess it would turn out to be kind of like Seth Rollins did at WrestleMania. Let's talk women's Money in the Bank. Well, Carmella, Tuesday night, regained her right to the Money in the Bank. But James Ellsworth climbing up the ladder and handing the briefcase to her was unprecedented. Now, there's interference Money in the Bank matches all the time. Bray Wyatt interfered with Roman Reigns and kept him from getting his Money in the Bank. And other wrestlers have come in and just, caused problems. It's a no disqualification match. But Daniel Bryan did the right thing by taking the briefcase away and making another Money in the Bank match, which was a great match. But I said going into it, Carmella was still going to win it. They just kind of left a bad taste in the fans' mouth. I think a lot of negative feedback from that right away when it happened. that even though they wanted Carmella to have the briefcase, they had to figure out another way to do it. So it ended up still Daniel Bryan decided to ban James Ellsworth, the Chin as they call him, from the ring, or from the whole arena. But of course, he found a way in and found a way to interfere with the match. But in the end, Carmella climbed up the ladder and got it herself. So congratulations, Carmella. You are the Money in the Bank winner. I don't know how or when you're going to use that, but good luck to you. There's not a lot WWE going on. There's a Strowman Reigns battle I think ends at Great Balls of Fire. I think Reigns is going to beat him again and end this whole Strowman Reigns Strowman, and Strowman's going to find someone else to pick on or beat on, or just the way that the whole thing is going down. It's an ambulance match. I see Reigns winning it, especially the way they're building it up that Reigns just can't beat him, but Reigns doesn't lose on the big format. So the big match is Samoa Joe and Brock, and they're doing the same thing here. Twice now, Samoa Joe's got the best of Brock Lesnar before pay-per-view, but he's cheap shot of them both times. Brock's not going to take cheap shots very well, and I really see Samoa Joe going in and putting up a heck of a battle. He may even put the Coquina clutch on, but I see Brock getting out of it. F5. Now, maybe he's going to turn the Coquina clutch into an F5 because I can see that happening. Brock getting him up on his shoulders, and Brock's going to win and retain his title. They're not going to take it away from him that quick. Samoa Joe can handle a loss to Brock Lesnar. They might drag this into SummerSlam, make it a nice rivalry for a little while, and then Joe go off and find something else to do. They're not taking the title away from Brock until Brock decides it's time for him to quit, which is probably coming soon, maybe by the end of the year. Maybe WrestleMania, you get the Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar that everybody's looking for, or maybe you'll get Finn Balor and Roman Reigns. Those are two matches people are looking for. And hey, why not give Roman a fourth year in a row to be the headline at WrestleMania? Just saying, it's, he took out The Undertaker. Maybe he's earned his spot to headline again at WrestleMania. The only thing I see in SmackDown that could cause a kink in anything they're doing is John Cena's coming back July 4th. I don't know if he's coming back permanent. He was filming American Grit, so if he's coming back, where are they going to put him? Are they going to put him in AJ and Owens in a triple threat match for the United States title? We'll have to wait till Tuesday night and see what Cena brings to the table to see what's going on with that. Looks like we're down to our NFL preview. Now, Coop mentioned, he's kind of a Giants fan, and we'll get a little into that in a minute. I would like to say Dollar Shave Club. I use the Dollar Shave Club. $9 a month, I get 4 razors. The same quality razors you're going to go into the store and have to wait for someone to unlock for $25 or $30. They're shipped to my door. I don't even have to worry about it. They get money right out of my account. I get a notice days before. I can add any of their products they have. They have a aftershave. They have a shaving cream. They have everything you need. They even have shower products now. So go to dollarshaveclub.com, sign up today, and for as little as, I think, $6 a month. And like I said, I get the executive. I pay $9 a month, and that's for 4 blades. With 4 blades each one, it's a great product. I've never had an issue with it. I shave my head daily. I shave most of my face daily. So 4 razors get me through the month. You just change it every week, and there's no issues. You can add if you need to. If you need more, you just go online and go to your account, and you can add whatever products you want. You can add another round of razors. If you need a new handle, you add that. There are fees involved, but Dollar Shave, give it a try. Little NFL. I think we need to talk some NFL football here. Oh, Judge Stanton, Sano, and Correa by the commish, huh? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one too. Commish, you want to get in our little challenge? I got a Twitter from him, so I just thought I would check it out and see what he had to say. And of course, he took Correa. That's also his shortstop in ABL. So, of course, he's going to take him. And, of course, he's got Stanton, too, which, I had for the longest time and traded him away before I retired the first time. All right. Well, I like that. We'll see. We'll see how maybe we can just get a little ABL thing going on here and have everybody pick some guys and see who goes the farthest and just kind of pick a home run derby GM winner from there for the ABL just for fun. We're going to go back to see what Coop had to say here. He says, and I quote, "I like the weapons the Giants added, Brandon Marshall, Evan Ingram, but they still need that good north-south runner to help take the pressure off of Eli and OBJ." And that's for Odell Beckham Jr. I would have to agree with Coop on that, but I think the rookie running back they had last year, and I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but I'm pretty sure that this kid is the real thing. I mean, he had a pretty good season filling in here and there, and I'm going to check this out and try and pronounce his name. Just give me 1 second, because let's go running backs. Bam. Darquois, I think, is the way you pronounce his name. I just had to look up the pronunciation. So I think Darquois can be that north-south runner if they give him an opportunity to be the guy. So we'll see what the Giants do coming into preseason. And again, preseason tells you a lot because you can see in the first quarter how they're playing. And game 3 is the big game. That's where starters all play 3/4 of the game, and you get to see really how your team's going to play. It's a good feed into the NFL. It's time. It is time. I've been waiting. Skibby gave this to me. He fed it to me, and we're going to talk a little, and we may go over our time today, but we're going to talk a little bit of Minnesota Viking football. That's what I live for. See, purple rain, man. He says, "How comfortable am I with my team?" Well, if you look behind me, I've got a Bradford and Teddy Bridgewater little entourage going on up there. Here's the thing. Bradford's our starter coming in. Teddy may be ready before halfway through the season. So, first of all, best backup quarterback, either way you go. If Teddy takes Bradford's job, I still have Bradford. The problem I have with this whole little quarterback controversy is, one, we always get it wrong. We had Rich Gannon, and, we sent him away, and he ended up getting an NFL MVP with the Raiders. So do I see Bradford getting an MVP of the league? I mean, coming in when he was drafted, he had that capability, and everybody's on him about injury. But I watched 80% of the Viking games last year, and Bradford took some hits that probably would have sat out. But because he's got that reputation, I think he fought through them and toughed it out, and he played great. Y'all might not think he did. Oh, my God, I just went Southern. I said y'all. You guys might not think that he played great, but watching him play, watching him under pressure, he threw 5 interceptions, 5, and only 20 touchdowns. I realize that, but who was there to catch the ball? Stephon Diggs. Treadwell didn't come out of his shell. Cordero Patterson, who we traded away, could only catch short passes, and we'd have to hope he'd make big plays. You get him downfield, he just can't. The concentration, I just don't think was there. He's too worried about making the moves after. And now he's with the Raiders. Peterson was hurt all year, and let's face it, with Adrian Peterson in the backfield, you're putting 8 men in the box no matter what because the guy can break a run anywhere. So now the moves we've made, we picked up Murray, not DeMarco, Latavius, who can catch out of the backfield, who's a good runner. I mean, he's not, I wouldn't say he's the best running back in the league. He's 27, I think, and he had a decent season with the Raiders. And we picked up Dalvin Cook. And this guy's a wide receiver who plays running back. Like, if you watch his highlight reels, he doesn't drop the ball. He gets wide open down the sidelines. He can catch it in traffic, and he runs hard. He runs like a young Adrian Peterson. I don't know if he's as strong as Peterson is. We'll find out. But you have these 2 guys in the backfield. So now you're not putting 8 men in the box because I'm not afraid of Latavius Murray or Dalvin Cook if I'm a defense. I'll put my normal 5, maybe a 6 man in the box just to keep an eye on it. Doing that is going to free up some running. And when the Vikings start to run, all of a sudden, you're going to have a play action, which Bradford can do, and so can Bridgewater. And the play action is where you're going to get beat, because if you got my receivers covered downfield, you're going to hit the running backs out of the backfield, and they're going to make something happen. The idea is to move the ball down the field and get a touchdown. You don't have to get it all in one play. So people saying there's no big plays for the Vikings, they're wrong, because Diggs can make that big play. Laquan Treadwell, if they let him play this year and he gets better at his route running, can make that big play. Even Adam Thielen is made a few here and there. Our biggest key is our offensive line, and that still scares me coming in. I'm not sold on Schiff and Remmers filling in the holes of everybody we let go, because I think we just traded one for another. So we're just going to have to wait and see how we go in preseason. Do we need a big-time receiver next to Diggs? I think so. I don't think Floyd is the guy. I think he's got too many off-field problems. His mind isn't focused. But maybe the second chance, he's going to prove me wrong and prove everybody else wrong and make the big deal here for the Minnesota Vikings. If I had to say preseason coming in where I think our team's going to finish, well, with Purple Rain, man, anything is possible. And they're ranking our defense like 12 or 13. Man, it's going to be #1 defense in football this year. You let Donnell Hunter start, and he's going to have 17 to 20 sacks. I mean, he was part-time, and he had like 9 last year. This kid is phenomenal. And on the other side, you have Everson Griffin. So you're going to have 2 extremely talented pass rushers coming from the outside. I wish Sharif Floyd was healthy, but we did get this young Jaleel Johnson kid in the draft. So I think with Johnson and Linville Joseph up front, you're going to be able to stuff the running game. And Johnson can get in after the quarterback. And we saw Linville Joseph do it last year, probably just because they're trying to double team our ends. And with the linebacking core we have, and then you've got the best, and yes, I said the best free safety in football, and 2 of the better cornerbacks. I mean, I don't know why they've got Xavier Rhodes so far down on the list. This guy did nothing, didn't let up a big play all year long. He's not picking the ball off, but you're not making big plays on him. He's stuffing you, knocking the ball down. You watch. Purple Rain, Vikings, 12-4. We're winning the division. Might even get home field with 12-4. So preseason, that's where we're going. I don't see anything on my chat here. I don't see anything here on. Wait, did Kamish tweet again? No, nothing else on Twitter. Well, I appreciate you watching. As always, thank you for watching. If you watched and liked, please like and subscribe. And this was The Buck Stops Here, Season 2, Episode 5. And I'm looking forward to some more NFL talk. I'm looking forward to seeing how the NBA draft comes out. And we'll talk a little more Mayweather-McGregor as we get some more information on all that. Up next, going to be your MLB All-Star Weekend coming up soon. Home Run Derby, and I've got a challenge out to the rest of the ABL managers, so hopefully they answer that. This might be fun. Thank you again. Have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday.